Hello and welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason and this is one of my 46B Pickford Removal Vans. These were produced by Lesney for the Matchbox range between 1960 and 1968. I've got two of the green type models here, each missing pillars and rear doors, and I'll be doing a decal comparison on them. You'll see I've put my reproduction plastic roller doors inside each, where they are now stuck. Being in the range for 8 years meant there were a number of variations on the casting, and that they are a fairly common sight, not really attracting a premium for the green with black wheels versions like these. Originally, they would have been painted in Pickford's traditional dark blue livery, but here is a mint condition green example. And here is a Guy Vixen, which I don't need to tell you is what the casting is based on. With the decals, it just goes to show how accurate a casting this really was. The initial blue versions came with the 3-line decals, though rare 2-line decals that omitted the branches in all large towns slogan do exist. They all had either grey or silver plastic wheels with domed axles. Early on, the grille was redesigned, while an additional locker and fuel filler were added. The model then switched from blue to green with the addition of black wheels. Silver trim had been applied to the grille, headlights and bumper, but the headlight detailing was omitted later on in the run. For now though, I use caustic soda to strip back that green paint. Guy Motors existed from 1914 to 1982 as a producer of cars, commercial vehicles, buses and trolleybuses. During the First World War, they produced military vehicles, and then post-war began making luxury cars. In 1924, Guy adopted their Native American mascot, which appeared on the front of their vehicles. Again, during the Second World War, Guy manufactured military equipment, but returned to civilian vehicles, in particular buses, after. By the 1960s, Guy was experiencing financial difficulties, as Jaguar managing director Sir William Lyons acquired the company. This did improve the company's success for a while, but following Jaguar's merger with the British Motor Corporation, and then in turn Leyland to form British Leyland, the Guy name was dropped from buses in 1972. The Fallings Park plant where Guy models were produced finally closed in 1982, bringing an end to 68 years of production. The Vixen model the casting is based on was a 4-tonne commercial vehicle. It had been produced pre-World War II, specialised with a Luton style or Pantechnicon body, i.e. an extended compartment from the rear over the top of the cab. These were particularly popular with removal firms, Pickfords being one of them. While I refit some replacement pillars on my Pickford van, the company itself was established in around 1695, making it one of the UK's oldest functioning companies. They were involved in the wagon trade, supplying construction materials, before entering the canal industry and later running wagons on railways. In the 20th century, Pickfords moved into road haulage. In 1947, road haulage in the UK was nationalised as British Road Services, and later as the National Freight Corporation in 1969. Following privatisation in 1982, the NFC sold Pickfords to Allied Van Lines in 1996. In 2012, the company was bought out by 2 of its directors following administration, and it continues on to this day. Now, while I prepared to paint my castings green again, there was one issue of the 46B that was painted brown. This was a promotional model for Bealls department stores. It had a Bealls Bilsons logo on the side, though had no silver trim, and came in a plain or Bealls branded white box. These are diminishingly rare. On eBay, back in January, a mint original box example sold for nearly $1,400 US. Now I ought to talk a bit about this casting. I have 2 sets of decals, one from Black Square Decals, which I am showing here, and one from Model Supplies, on the blue backed sheet. I'm going to apply both and see which has done a better job on their reproduction. So Black Square is left, Model Supplies is right. The Black Square decal is thicker and of better quality, where the Model Supplies one is thin and crumpled but did roll out smoothly. The lettering is a more authentic off-white on the left, and more crisp on the right. I'll show each individually at the end of the video, so please let me know which you think is better in the comments. I'm giving my restoration the full trim treatment, grille, bumper and headlights. So here are my parts for reassembly. My reproduction roller doors were both from Model Supplies, and I shall leave links in the description as always. The supports connected to the base flatten out the door to hold it in position. Once the tab at the rear is in place, all it needs is a firm push. And that is job done. So here is one of my two 46B Pickford Removal Vans I began with. In a poor state, this one was missing both pillars on the cab, its roller door, decals, had a crushed base, rusted axles, and most of its paint was gone. As I had two to restore, I took the opportunity to compare decals from two different sources. Please do let me know which one you prefer in the comments section. In the bottom right you'll see the mint example to compare it to. I've done all the fixes listed before and the casting is in much better shape. The decals are in a crisp white with no visible backing. The font is close on the lower two lines, but the serifs are far too sharp on Pickfords. Model Supply's roller doors are a good quality though. So next, let's see the black square decals version. In my opinion, I prefer this one for its closer font in the title line and the more translucent than transparent decal backing. The spacing could do with closing up on Pickfords, and the lower two lines need fattening up with some bold. Again, the letters are just a bit too far apart. Now let me know which one wins for you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. That just leaves me to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.